Hey everyone, Simon and Alex here with Top Tennis Trading.
In this video we're going to try and fix my backhand. Now I've always felt like my forehand was my main weapon, like I could do a lot more with my forehand, and I always felt like I wanted to kind of run around my backhand and hit more forehands. So today I wanted to work on my backhand, hopefully improve it, look at some slow motion footage to see what the causes for me missing those balls, for me having difficulty in handling some balls, and find out what we can do to fix it. So hopefully get me playing better tennis.
Now before we get into the video, if you're serious about improving your game, make sure you click on that subscribe button and you turn on the notification bell. So Alex, what exactly do you feel when you're struggling with your backhand?
So I find it really tough to handle high balls, first of all. Like, I find it really difficult. I end up just slicing it, and I resort to my slice in matches as well quite a lot, just because I just don't feel confident enough to hit it. I also feel like I don't generate enough power, like I don't get as much as I could maybe out of that backhand. It just doesn't quite feel solid enough, and I always feel like I have to muscle it too much, and I know I shouldn't be, but I feel it, and it makes me lose confidence on it, and I end up not hitting it as much. So today I want to work on creating a little bit more power out of it. Maybe also being able to generate more spin, because I kind of end up hitting it quite flat. So I find my backhand's quite flat, so if I can get more topspin on it, get more power on it, and be able to handle high balls, then, you know, we've done a great job.
Good job.
Yeah.
Let's have a go. So Alex tends to take the racket down quite low and then get into that power position. And if we compare that to like a Wawrinka, who starts with the racket above the grip level, he's already creating that space to accelerate the racket, and he's creating that leverage in the hand and in the racket.
So for me, I always felt like I'm trying to drop my shoulder, and then when I drop it, it feels kind of unnatural for me to have my arm up. But I guess the way I need to be doing is get the arm up first and then drop the shoulder second. So like, it's more this.
And also notice when he gets to that back position, he's lifting his elbow, and on the older style backhands he was hitting, his elbow is quite tucked into his body. So now we're going to really work on this elbow coming up to around shoulder level. This will allow him that space he needs to accelerate, and this will give him that ability to handle those higher balls with much more ease.
And I guess for me, it felt a little bit more like a comfort thing. Like, if the elbow's here, I feel like everything's close, I feel comfortable. Whereas getting this, it feels like everything's further away. But if you think about having a longer lever and being able to generate power, you need the length of lever to be able to let go and hit here. And I think that's maybe also why I tend to hit the ball flatter, is because if I'm here, I end up just doing this more, whereas if I'm from here, I can actually drop, and I can get a little bit of topspin there as well. So not only am I going to hopefully get spin, but also generate some power just by getting that start here and getting that elbow up, as Simon said, you know, and seeing the footage is actually quite noticeable.
So in this first roll, I'm simply going to be having my racket underneath Alex's elbow, forcing him to lift up to around shoulder height with that elbow. This will help him have that higher take back, that bigger loop, more space to accelerate the racket, and then I'm going to be dropping the ball, and he's simply going to be accelerating from that back position.
Also, if you think about me lifting the elbow up here, notice the space this way. So when I drop the elbow in, when I take it back, the racket ends up going behind here, whereas here I can actually go a lot more further here without breaking this line, so I can get more of a deeper swing this way rather than a compact swing this way. So not being like tucked in, but being deeper here. So this is what I'm trying to get out of it, and hopefully Simon's going to keep my elbow up for me to try and do that.
So after every shot, we're reinforcing that position of the elbow being high and away from the body.
So now that I've got my elbow back, I start feeling pretty good on it. I start feeling like actually the racket starts to fly a little bit more, and I'm actually a little bit looser as well because the racket's away from me. Now I'm able to just let go and the racket does the work for me, whereas before I had to start doing something with my shoulder here, and then perhaps that's where I was losing a little bit of the control, and which made me lose confidence on that backhand. So now the next thing, something that I saw on my videos is on the take back, I'd also love to get that racket head a little bit away from my body. So not only am I getting my elbow up, but I'm also getting that racket head, the racket face, the playing area away from me. So this will hopefully give me a strong contact, so I'll have a lot of leverage. So if someone pushes against me here, I've got quite a lot of strength. Whereas if I haven't quite achieved that, if I'm here, then I'm not going to get the same power on that ball. So it actually helps me get a good contact point as well.
So in this drill, I'm simply going to be placing my hand against Alex's racket, making sure it's now facing the left side of the court, and I'm going to be drop feeding him a backhand. And you can see he has really good space now between his racket and the body, which will allow him to accelerate that racket without any hindrance. So the next few backhands, Alex, let's try and get more height, more spin, and see if you can really produce that heavy top spin that you want. Yes. There we go. Again. Starting to look like Wawrinka's already. One more. Wawrinka, we have a match for you now. But now it's all about that starting position and seeing if he can get into that power position on his own. Now, even though Alex is getting into that power position, it doesn't make much sense for him to be starting in that kind of position here, that ready position, and then having to lift the racket. Now, if we look at a Wawrinka or a Dominic Thiem, even Federer, they'll have the racket higher than the grip level when they're waiting, and as soon as they recognize the ball's coming to the backhand, they already have the racket head higher than the grip. So that's what we're going to focus on right now.
That makes sense. Here you go.
So racket's higher, and now it's easier for him to get into that back position because the racket's already in that set position. One more. Perfect. That'll be $1,000, please, Alex.
and that did feel actually like I was saving a little bit of time. Instead of doing all this, I was simply doing this. I was simply just turning. So racket's here, I turn, I get my elbow up. I turn, I get my elbow up. So getting that feel for this is quite important. I think I'm going to try and groove it in now for when I play. Hopefully make it autonomous, hopefully improve my backhand and start winning more matches. And if you think about it, when you have an opponent who gives you easier balls,
you can cheat. You can start down here and still reach that power position. But when you're playing the players that Alex is playing, guys who are top 100, you don't have that time. You have to go from this position into that position as quickly as possible, buying yourself time.
So we hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let us know what you think. Let us know if that has helped your backhand. I know it certainly has helped mine. We're going to release a few more videos like this, hopefully working on each other's games, see if we can raise that bar from Top Tennis Training and hopefully help you out on the journey as well.
Now don't forget, guys, we have a free one-handed backhand guide. You can download that right away. We'll leave the link below this video. All you have to do is click on that link. It will take you to our website. You simply enter your email address and we'll send you that free PDF straight away.